The discussion and the khatira is your favorite, and after this amazing biryani, I have to give the khatira. This is because of the biryani. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you the best. It was amazing, mashallah. You give biryani, I give khatira. Fair enough? Yes. طيب بارك الله جزاك الله خير. Watch it بقى إن شاء الله يعني on the recording. There was a question that came on open your heart, and I don't know how to answer this question because it is very open-ended question. But it reminded me of another question that I want to ask instead. The question said, you're leaving? Barakallah, jazakallah khair. If you are there, just make sure you watch it. This way we love this khatara because we send many people home and we keep the hardcore tamkeeners listening. But we send people home. The question says, maybe when your parents listen to the question, they will stay. Our parents are always roasting us about the way we spend our money and how we are wasteful for our money. But they never taught us how to spend our money, how to make sure we are not wasteful in our money. For sure, I am reading from the file, and the file has the beginning of the question, but I know the question very well. So again, the question says, our parents are roasting us for being wasteful of our money. But they never taught us how to spend our money, how to make sure we are not wasteful for our money. What do we do? You don't know? And actually it is an open-ended question. I don't know how to answer this question in details. Hold on. Let's take step by step. But I wanted to ask you another question. That was a discussion among some boys. I'm not revealing any names, and forgive me, but this question is good to have it as a discussion with everybody. The boys were discussing, if your wife is spending $5, $6 every day on a cup of coffee, like whatever Habiba is doing for the or whoever, if your wife is spending $5, $6 on a cup of coffee every day, would you be okay? Because 5 or 6 times 30, it is going to be 150, 180, and she's my wife and whatever, and it's okay? Or is this considered a waste of money? I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna buy you a coffee machine for $20, and I'm gonna bring you those kind of drip coffee or whatever, and you can make a cup of coffee for a few cents. Would you be considered stingy if you do this from your side? Or this is whatever you are supposed to do? So I just wanted to open this discussion as a way of addressing the main question. So now we have a sub-question. You got my point. So I want to hear it from the boys, I want to hear it from the girls. Do you think, girls, that your husband is okay if he yells at you and say, why cup of coffee, $5, $6 every day? Why you are not, I have the, do not, I'll buy you a few cents, you can make a cup of coffee, okay? Be respectful of the money. Or would you consider him stingy, or he's okay? So I want to hear from the girl's side, and I want to hear from the boy's side. Who would like to get started? Amiratu. Give the microphone is over here.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Personally, I think that
Get the microphone closer a little bit, yeah.
Personally, I think that it's a huge waste of money, and I don't think it's up to the husband that should tell the, because it's also embarrassing, maybe, I don't know, but maybe for the husband it's kind of awkward, like maybe like telling his wife, like, don't buy coffee every day, like it's maybe it's not a good use of money.
So the husband should tell her,
but
do not.
It's like, as the wife, you should already know, like, this is your husband's money, and you should be considerate of his financial situation at the moment, and like whether or not he can even afford it in general. It's like, is it a waste of money, or can you buy a coffee can you buy a coffee machine for $20?
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It's like, just be responsible.
Barakallahu feek. Sounds good. So we got the opinion. Yeah, she believes this is definitely a waste of money. Yes, Mariam.
I think from the man's side, if he can afford it, then he shouldn't address his wife. But I think from the woman's side, to respect her husband's money, she shouldn't be doing that in the first place.
But what if your husband even affords that money? Would it still consider be wasting money or not?
I mean, yeah.
Let me
I
ask you
think-
multiple questions. Question number one, or sub-case number one. If your husband cannot afford this and you are taking money from your husband, you are not working, and he can, it is really makes a difference. Or if your husband is rich and he can afford it. This is case number two. Case number three, if this is your own money, not your husband's money, what would you say in the three cases?
So in the first case, if he can't afford it, then obviously he should address her and tell her not to do that. Second case, if he can't afford it, then I think just in order to prevent problems, and if it's not making a difference to him, then I think he shouldn't address her. But I think from the woman's side in general, you shouldn't be wasting your husband's money like that.
Okay.
And what was the last?
What if it was your own money?
Then should he tell her? I mean, he
You have
can-
money, you are rich, you have some money from whatever source. This is your money, not your husband's money.
Then I think in that case he should advise her still.
Advice,
not-
still advice.
Yeah.
Okay, barakallahu feek. Who else? Yasmin, and then we go back to Amira. And then we'll see the boys, what they're gonna do. Are you gonna punch hair in the face, or are you gonna say, whatever you wanna get, sweet honey. If you wanna get more, I can give it for you. This is true at the beginning of the marriage, okay? Not after few years of marriage. The response will change. Hopefully not. Yes, Yasmin.
If you consider this to be something useless, I mean, I know a lot of people, they consider coffee or tea or something like that as a very important part of their day because it gives them energy. They might consider this.
But you can make it at home. You can brew it at home. Coffee is fine.
I mean, I'm not.
Why pay $5-6? Or go get boba tea for $10. I'm coming. I'm on my way.
I definitely don't agree with every single.
I drink a lot of coffee, but I have a coffee machine at home. Okay. So what do we do? Sorry, get back to your.
So I feel like every single day it's definitely it's not needed, but like you could say that you don't need jewelry or you don't need stuff like that, you know. And there's a lot of stuff like that we consider you don't really need your phone or you don't really need this stuff, but we want it, you know. So like if she wants it and her husband is okay with her having it, then I mean.
That's okay.
Yeah, but
She can go spend $5-6 every day on a cup of coffee
No.
or $7, $8, $9 on boba tea.
well, once in a while I think it's okay. Like these things are for special occasions. I also don't.
No,
agree.
what do you mean once in a while? For me, I'm okay. Wallahi, once in a while. If you tell me this is once a year, I'm okay. Twice in a year, still okay, but not more than this. Okay.
You maybe like 2 times a month or something.
Okay. We are not far away from each other. Okay. Yeah. Once. I feel the heat coming from your heart. Yeah. Any opinions from the boys? We can actually alternate, so girls get the chance to. Habiba, please. If he does not bring me the cup of coffee every day, I will make his life miserable. Anything else you want to add, Habiba? Please go ahead. If I don't get my cup of coffee, he will see what caffeine is doing to me. You are not allowed to talk to me before my cup of coffee. Understood? Yes, Habiba, go ahead, please. Don't leave me talking a lot. Interrupt me and go ahead, yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about. Anyways, I feel like the question is it okay to be wasteful, period? Because I can also bring up from another side. Yes, I agree that getting a cup of coffee every day is
There are 2-3 Tamkeen girls every time they come in the morning with the Starbucks coffee.
I'm not
I know
one of
them by name.
I'm not one of them.
For sure you are not, yeah, no one said
Anyways, I feel like the question should be, is it okay to be wasteful, period? Because I can also bring it from another side. If the husband is constantly buying the newest iPhone or the newest car or spending hundreds of dollars on skydiving or whatever the heck it is, I can bring, it's the same exact thing. So is it okay to be wasteful, period? That's the question. Because being wasteful isn't just with coffee or with boba.
So I got your point. So if he talks to you about coffee, you are gonna make his day miserable and you are gonna count for him. Let me show you what you are doing and how you are wasting. And it's gonna be a bigger no, I understand.
I just don't think
you are gonna leave the topic of the coffee, you are gonna leave his advice for the coffee and come to me, Habibi. I'm counting to you how you are wasteful and let's discuss it back for 2, 3, 5 days.
I just don't understand why it can go either way. It's not just a one.
I'm asking the question. What do you think? Is it okay for a wife to drink a cup of coffee every day from outside or not? I'm not talking about the husband.
If it's her money, yes. If it's not her money, then...
If it's her money, yes.
Yeah.
She can waste as much as she wants.
It's her money. In Islam, she can spend her money the way she wants. He should advise her that it's waste because it's her money at the end of the day. And she, like Islamic from a perspective, she has the right to spend it.
Is it okay to spend her money? Is it good to spend it on a cup of coffee every day?
No, I think that is wasteful.
Okay.
And if it's her husband's money, I think it depends on a lot of situations. It depends on like the husband's income. If he's not okay with it, I think he should talk to her. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think if they have a...
What if he has the money? Do you think it's still waste of money or not?
Yes, I do think it's a waste of money. Even if it's the girl's money, I think it's a waste of money to get a cup of coffee every single day if you can make it at home. Because it's the same thing eating out every single day, whatever it is, it's the same exact thing.
Any one of you girls would consider the man stingy if he gives you this advice? Everyone is there, not because boys are looking at me, not at them. They are all nodding no. Type, let's see, Sheikh Junaid.
I only drink like the free coffee in the work lounge, just FYI. But I really don't. I don't think. I don't think it's a waste of money. I think $5-6 a day. I think if you are being that nitpicky with money, I think it's not. I don't think that's it's a big waste of time because I think the real question is how are we defining waste? What is wasteful? Because
so it is or it is not?
I don't think it's wasteful. I don't think it's wasteful. I think $5 because you can argue you're paying for the convenience, and if you're not a good person, you don't make coffee well, so you're paying for the convenience. And I think it really boils down to how are you defining what's wasteful, and I think it really depends on what your income level is of what's wasteful. The other thing I want to mention is that in terms of what if people want to save money, there is this thing called the Pareto principle, which means it's an 80-20 rule. It's not just in finances, it's literally in everything, but 80% of your expenses are probably coming from 20% of the things that you're doing. And then the rest of the 20% of what you're spending is coming from, the other 80% of the things that you're doing. I don't know if I'm making sense. So typically for most people, the rent is the biggest, cost, plus, if you're paying off some loans, or if you have car payments, or if you have tuition payments, there are things that are the big sort of important things that you're spending your money on, and then of the things that are, sort of just hajas or just things that you're doing for fun for yourself. There's a long list of them, and I don't think any single one particular thing. Because there are probably like a list of 10 different things that each one's like $5 a day. So
$5 is not a big deal.
So my point is, it's not that one specific thing that you can say, oh, that's a waste of time. You have to look at what else are your expenses, and from that list you have to make a decision.
Let me respond to Maulana, but before I respond to Maulana, I want to discuss a different scenario, and then I come back to you regarding how much we are wasting in other places, okay? Now, imagine this situation and let me know how you are gonna advise me. Now you found me over here in the bathroom making wudu, okay? Opening the faucet at its maximum capacity, dropping as much water as it could go, and then I am making wudu slowly. And the water is dripping at its maximum capacity. Anyone is gonna give me an advice? What advice would you give me? What advice would you give me?
Like lower the amount of water that you're using because that's wasteful.
Now I'm gonna put the hat of Sheikh Junaid and respond back to you. But let's do analysis. Where else we are wasting water? See how much water we are wasting while we are washing our pots. See how much water we are wasting while we are cleaning. See how much water we are wasting while whatever we are doing what. Why would we care about this kind of water of wudu?
I don't think that's
I'm talking to him. I'm talking to him. Give me a second. Why? Let's do analysis of everything we are wasting, and this wasting, it is part of the waste of whatever we are wasting. How do you like my argument?
It's pretty good, and my counter argument to it is like, I guess like being more mindful of everything that you use because like everything's obviously ni'mah from Allah, so like Allah could at any time take that ni'mah from you. So like be careful with it and always feel like it's not like not like in your power that you have it. It's Allah's power, and He's giving it to you.
Yes, Othman.
For the water or for the bathroom you were talking about, I would say that what it says the wasting water because it said the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said if you have a river of water, don't waste it.
Barakallah fika, Sheikh Uthman. Even Sheikh Uthman actually, he mentioned the hadith that I was about to mention. You do not waste water in wudu even if you are sitting by a running river. So what we care for is not how much water we have. It is not how much, where water may be flowing in the ocean by the end of the day. Even if the water is flowing in the ocean by the end of the day and there is a lot of water, the Prophet ﷺ is telling us not to waste the water. It is, ya shabab, it is not doing the analysis as Sheikh Junaid mentioned. No, it is building your character. It is building your personality. I'm gonna give it to you. Give me a second, Yani. Just finish my point. If from a young age I am taught, whenever I am making wudu, I just open it a little bit because this water is valuable. Even if I have a lot of them, even if it is not gonna make much difference in the payment, it is building my personality from the inside, not to waste water. You never know what will happen in the future. It is personality building. Whenever I am walking and I see that much light and no one is sitting in the room, I am going to turn it off. Just this is how I am raised. So whenever I am in a situation where I'm really short in money, I am already trained. It is not how much money I have in my pocket. Paying $5 for a cup of coffee is too much. It is waste. Yes, I can make it every now and then, Yasmin, as you mentioned, once every 10 years, that's totally fine. That's okay, no problem. But having it once a day, it is waste. It is waste. And it is a matter of who we are. We don't want to be wasteful. If we learn from a young age, wallahi, I'm just opening the faucet to the minimum. I don't want to be wasteful. Whenever you grow up, you will not be spending $10 in boba tea every other day. It's okay to do it once every 10 years. I'm okay. Yes, Habiba, and then we'll come back to the...
I was just gonna say I agree with Hadratak, and I think giving nasiha, whether it's husband or wife or even to anybody, that's like their haqq. You need to give them advice from an Islamic perspective because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't ask them about that. However, I do think in a marriage you need to pick your battles. If you're gonna keep fighting about every single thing and keep telling her or telling him even that everything is wasteful or stuff like that, that's gonna end up to your marriage failing. So I really think that, like, going back to the first thing, like in a marriage, you really need to pick your battles, pick what you're going to fight over, so it doesn't end up in a miserable way. And I'm talking from both sides, because again, like I told Hadith, you can argue from both sides about a lot of things being quote-unquote wasteful. You know what I mean?
Well said, Habiba. Barakallah fik. I fully agree, but there are 2 points I want to mention. Point number 1, it is my job to teach you those values before you get married. And this is the point of the discussion. So whenever you get married, you are not doing like whatever you are doing today, 2-3 times going to Starbucks. I'm joking, Shabab, don't take it seriously. So the point number 1, the discussion is to prepare you. Whenever you get married, you are not wasteful of the money. This is point number 1. Point number 1, Habiba, and I would consider myself very successful. If the relationship between you and your husband, it is not like battles. It is okay if the wife considers her husband, he is my teacher, I know his wise, and he's teaching me. Whenever he gives me an advice, he is not going in a battle with me. He is teaching me. He's bringing me to a higher level. This is the attitude that I love you have with your future husband. He is teaching me. He is not in a battle with me. And this is a shabab for your knowledge. Whenever you get married to a wife who is willing to learn from you, it is going to make your life much easier. And there is another wife who is going to willing to prove you wrong and discipline you. Or a wife, she says, he's my husband, it is okay to learn from him. And it is okay, by the way, to learn from the wife in the case that she is giving, she was going to give the microphone, but I said something, okay, there is no need to go through this battle. Okay? But expectation, husband, given that the leadership that Allah has given him in the house, he has the right to be the teacher. So do not consider him, he is picking battle with you. This is wrong attitude that can really destroy your life. Consider it, he can be my teacher, and he wants the best for me, and I'm going to be successful, and my house is going to be successful if I listen to him and I learn from him. Listen to me, Habibi, wallahi, for your good, يعني, inshallah. Maulana, sorry. Hidayah, because I want to get you, Ali, to comment on every. Yes, Hidayah.
I think we all agree that it's wasteful. So to resolve this problem, because girls are lazy, the husband can go make the cup of coffee for his he can make the cup of coffee for his
You destroyed your future reputation, Sister Hidayah, by the way. Everything, you have the right to remain silent, but every time you say something, it can be taken against you. So do not ruin your reputation more than this, okay? Barakallahu. You are the best, wallahi, mashallah.
Okay, so going back to the analogy of making wudu and wasting, I think the equivalence to that would be if you bought this 2 cups of coffee or 3 cups of coffee and you only drank half of one coffee and you left the rest of it, versus you're still getting just exactly what you want, the amount, but you're paying for the convenience, you're paying for the taste if you really like the way.
I'm opening the faucet for the convenience.
I mean,
I'm ready to argue till tomorrow and let the parents wait in front of my house.
I'm telling you, I'm very much for just being
I know that you are paying for the convenience. I'm not disagreeing. You are paying for something for sure. Paying for convenience, paying for laziness, paying for whatever you want to pay.
Yeah.
But you are overpaying and you are wasting the money.
Probably for most people, yes. But I think the wastefulness really depends on how much money you have.
Yeah.
And so if you have more money and you can spend it on these conveniences, I don't see a problem. From my understanding, Imam Malik had like 100 pair of shoes. So.
I didn't count them myself.
Okay, and he would eat meat every day, and other scholars advised him not to do it. But he said, I wanted to have, so that my back is strong, and it brings izzah to the scholars. Just as an example. Because I think the extreme, if you want to take the argument to the extreme, is that then we should not be allowed to buy any car that's more expensive than just bare minimum, because that's israf. You don't need that money. And I am very much for, especially young kids, buying just beat up cars, just struggling, and then when you make your own money with your own hands, then you decide based on where you're at, what's israf for you and what's not. Because I think the larger question is, does the definition of israf change from person to person? And my understanding is that it does, but yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. Is it really a convenience if it's going to hurt you long term?
Ask the doctor. It will hurt you every way, this way or that way. You mean the caffeine itself and else, yeah. Don't get addicted to coffee. But actually the good thing, give as much coffee to your wife so that you can shorten the life, get rid and enjoy your life after this.
Coffee has not been associated with shortened lifespan.
It does not?
No.
Okay.
I think sugar has.
So what should we feed them? So we will talk about this later on.
Oh yeah, I think for coffee, the thing that makes it wasteful, especially if you're a little if you have the money, but there's other priorities that you'd rather do, like traveling and whatever. I think the thing with coffee is it's not anything that like builds memories or it's not anything that lasts. It's just something that's just there and done. And I think it's better to like use that money to like build memories with your wife or even like a car. I wouldn't think that's israf like coffee because for a car it's something that like you kind of live with for a while and you build memories with the car with
If you never
your
have
wife.
if you never have an expensive meal, then that's also just a one-time thing that you buy.
Yeah, one time expensive meal, that's fine. But not every day.
Yeah, once every 10 years, that's okay.
My point is occasional.
Showers once a life, okay? You and your group.
I didn't go that much.
Okay. $70 a person in one meal, you increase you and your friends. Actually, a few things I just want to respond to. Inshallah, just a few things before they go to our mind. Noor, you want to understand, you don't want to be wasteful across the board. Not in the stuff that you do not like and be wasteful in whatever you are attached to. Your arguments has the problem of you are attached to traveling, some people attach it to coffee. The point is not to be wasteful at all. Whether you are attached to this, yes or no, okay? The other thing or the other points also, many times, girls, you want to play this role, sometimes the husbands are wasteful. So you want to even play this role because you want to be the one controlling if the husband is wasting a lot. Many of the boys, they can go, even he can take you to a restaurant and he can waste a lot. It's okay to be once every 10 years, but it cannot be every time. The other thing, when the boys were telling me, this lady or wife or whatever is going to coffee every day, I'm saying, other than spending coffee every day, this shows bigger problems. It shows bigger problems. It shows the problem of if she does not feel this kind, it can be an indication of a bigger problem, not just for the coffee. You don't know when you start your life how much money you will have. I shared this story many times before. When I first got married, came to the US 10 days after my marriage. Okay, I had nothing in Egypt, no home, nothing. I'm just coming over here. Okay, grad student, and your dad was a grad student like me here. Whenever we came here to this country, maybe you were getting much money or the same case, I don't know, but you were getting $1,000 a month, paying $500 in rent, and you have $500 to survive with for the rest of the months. Majority of this money goes for the diapers. So whenever we go, yeah, that was one of the major items. Yeah, I wanted to optimize in this item, but it was very hard to optimize. So when I go,
because it was not included in weight.
it was not included in the weight, yes. Bro, I don't know if you know the wick or not. You know the wick or not? This is they give some kind of milk and what stuff and eggs and cheese for the poor families like us.
With $1,000 a month,
Humiliation, yeah.
you are poor, yeah.
Yeah, he can tell more stories. Yeah, he also came here as a grad student. So whenever I go shopping with my wife, before we enter, I tell her, fear Allah, okay? Your maximum shopping for the week is $20. Do it. How, I don't know, but you do it. And this is, by the way, that was good training. For sure, this training got lost and faded out after we lived here, for sure, as working professional, but it was good training. So for you girls, it's good to have this training. Do not do like the girls whenever they go shopping for TAMKEEN, even shopping for TAMKEEN. Whatever they need, they grab. And then I ask them, by the way, under the item there is a small tag with some numbers written under. It is called the price. Did you get the chance to look to any of them? Said, oh really? No. You don't know how much this is? No. This is $40 for this nonsense, okay? Please, there is this small tag. Try to consider before you put items over here. Abu Habiba, catch.
I want to add another dimension because we have been discussing wasteful, which, as Sheikh Muhammad said, it depends on how much money you have. And in my opinion, waste is something that you are using to harm yourself or to throw away and not benefit from it. So you have to minimize this. But there is another dimension, which is a story with Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, which when Abdullah ibn Umar came to him with, I don't remember, it was meat or fish. Basically, he knows his father likes this piece of meat, and he brought him this food. And his father looked at him and say a very important statement, which is, I want to bring it to your attention. أَكُلَّمَا اشْتَهَيْتَ اشْتَرَيْتَ. That's a very important aspect, which you need to understand when Umar teaches Abdullah ibn Umar. Whenever you desire something, you buy it. What did he mean here? He's not talking about halal and haram and wasting, and he's talking about another aspect which we did not discuss. Is the more you follow your desires, the more you are attached to this dunya. You need to think about this. You have the money, yes, go buy whatever you want. I'm not saying this is not haram, we are wasting. This is another dimension, which is you are becoming attached in this dunya. You are investing in your body, not in your soul. You are investing in your body and your soul. You have two things, the body and the soul, the spirit. Okay? The more you invest in your body, the more you attach to this dunya. The more you attach to this dunya, the more it is difficult to leave this dunya. Just keep this in my mind. أَكُلَّمَا اشْتَهَيْتَ اشْتَرَيْتَ. Whenever you desire something, you go and buy it. Just keep this in mind.
جزاك الله خيرا. Yeah, feel free to wait the head of Shamshuni, that's fine. I'll try not to catch. Any other comments, Shabab?
And my daughters know this is difficult for me because always my wife tells me this. I am the one who's wasting.
You are the one who's wasting on coffee, I know.
Who's the one who's wasting you?
I am the one.
Oh, okay.
So it's not always
Yeah,
the wife.
this is why I mentioned sometimes the other way around. And again, Amanat, the job is that the same way whenever we give you the quizzes and we ask you to answer the quizzes, we are preparing you before the fact hits you. Before you get married, before such a situation happens. So whenever the situation happens, you are prepared.
If you are a billionaire, is it wasteful to buy a Lamborghini?
This discussion I had with Ibrahim Karim before he leaves. And I told him, no, definitely no. No, it is waste. It is waste. It is not worth it. It is a lot of waste. If you have a lot of money, I'm not asking you to buy a $200 car or a $1,000 car, but not to go and buy, I don't know how much is a Lamborghini. Buy a car for 20, 30,000.
If it's affordable.
No, it is affordable, but it's waste. Why would I spend, how much is Lamborghini?
300.
Why would I pay 200,000 for a car that's just walking in the streets? I can spend 20, 30 and get a very decent car. Brand new. But why? Even if I buy a house, buy a decent house, 3, 4, 5, 6 bedrooms. Why 20 bedrooms or 400 bedrooms? Even if you have a lot of money, this money, it is virtually yours, but you are just Khalifa from Allah on this money. Take whatever makes you live in a comfortable way. Use the money for something that pleases Allah, not just to get a Lamborghini. The discussion started with Ibrahim and Omar. You said, what if I buy a Lamborghini? I don't want to show off. And then I responded to him, why then you are buying a Lamborghini? The only reason people buy Lamborghini is to show off. Don't tell me the brakes is gonna live longer, okay?
Yeah, I mean, what if you're like a car enthusiast, right? And you think that, you know, buying a Lamborghini is like something that you want to do in life. You know, you could be like the best, you know, you could be like good in your deen, but at the same time, like, this is like kind of your passion. So, like, you know, spending money like kind of on yourself, quote unquote. How would you do that?
Give me the microphone, I'm heating up. أو كلما اشتهيت اشتريت, whatever you know, our brother Adil was saying. أو كلما اشتهيت اشتريت. Is it every time you desire something, you are gonna go run and buy it? Now I'm enthusiastic about cars, tomorrow I'm enthusiastic about whatever. No! Work on yourself. Work on your stupid enthusiasm. Work on your soul. Work on fixing your mentality. Work on fixing your heart, not on running and buying a Lamborghini. That would be wrong.
For example, just for the record, I'm just the devil's advocate here.
The devils does not have an Lamborghini.
You mentioned working on yourself, right? So could I work on myself and at the same
After
time
I buy the
spending-
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Since it again?
Like what you said.
I work on myself after I buy the Lamborghini.
It's simple. The hadith say, and his money, how did he get it, and how did he spend it? Like, no one will
It's gonna be
move forward.
questioned on this.
No one, the hadith in the year after, in the day of resurrection, no one will be move forward until he will be asked 5 things. One of them, how did he get his money or wealth, and how did he spend it?
Yes, Yasmin and Amira, whatever, go first. They're just fighting who goes first. Yeah.
I feel like Lamborghinis and Bugattis and high water pressure and all that stuff, I feel like all that stuff will just make a person spoiled. It really changes the person when they have all the, no, but I don't really, I wouldn't really see somebody who has a billion rooms in their home and they have 20 pools and they're, I mean, I don't know if I would consider them a just person with this actions when there's some people who don't have one room, half a bedroom, half a room. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, I feel like I got way too complicated with all the statistics stuff. But like, I can understand like if somebody has the money to buy a Toyota, they can go buy it. But I feel like we shouldn't be willing to spend money on things that are over expensive. And I mean, I'm not against like Lamborghinis or anything, but I feel like these types of like investing for something like that, it's really unneeded. Like it's good to buy a decent car, or I'm not saying it's not whatever, but it's okay to buy a decent car that you can use. But I feel like it's really unneeded for over the top type of stuff that you can see that it's like it's better than average.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see everybody having that. So people are going to be turning heads and it's not going to be good for you. There's going to be jealousy. You're going to get arrogant. You're going to have all this money. I mean, maybe it's possible, but I've never seen somebody like who has all this money. Like they don't need this money. Maybe they have 3 people in their family. Why do they need so many rooms in their house? I feel like a lot of the money can go in.
Barakallah fik, Yazmin. Actually, 2 points I should keep in mind. Which means, if you have the Lamborghini today, and your heart is good, your heart may change because of the Lamborghini you have. And the other point is, there are some other places where you spend the money. I just have one Amira pending over here, then come back to you. Yes, Amira.
Now that Yasmin talked, I feel like it's kind of like not a really smart thing to say. But what if you buy the Lamborghini, or like you have a lot of money, right? And you buy the Lamborghini, but you also like it's, I guess, yeah, maybe like it's a nice car, it's really expensive. But at the same time, you also donate a lot of money to like Islamic causes and a lot of money to different things, and you also
Donate more. Donate more.
like.
The Prophet ﷺ said whenever he was saying about wudu, you should don't do israf in wudu, even if you are next to a running river. Even if you have a running river of money, do not waste your money.
But what if, like, it's like very, very affordable to you as a trillionaire?
Even if it is very affordable to you. Even if it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yalla, Mona.
Yeah. Like some people like they're biking or like walking like 2 miles or like 3 miles just to get to work or school, and they like can't even afford like a bus fare, and like some people are just like, oh, this car looks nice and this car looks like, oh, whatever, I guess I'm gonna buy it. Like it's I personally think it's a waste of money because it's like you could be putting that money in more effective, giving it like more effective use than just like giving like a fast car or like like I'm not really invested into the world of cars, but like there are some cars that just have like better safety features that could possibly
buy a decent car. Right?
yeah.
So now he's telling you, if you have extra money, give it to him because he cannot afford the bus. Was it the announcement? Did I understand your message correctly, Omar? Right, let's take Anas and Yasso and Omar, and then by A, because parents are gonna start violin in front of my house.
I don't agree with you on buying a decent car because maybe you have decent needs.
Anything in your hands, yeah, Anas, if it is decent, it will not be decent after one day of your driving. So you don't have to agree with me.
Okay.
After one day, it will stop being decent based on what you will be doing.
No. If you buy a track car, my
you
needs
buy
differ
truck.
from
Yeah,
yours.
you buy truck.
No, track car.
No, you buy truck so that you know you can destroy anyone in front of you.
We do that too. But it's based on your decent needs. If your decent needs are just to buy a car, it keeps me in my lane, whatever, go do groceries.
No, hold
those
on.
aren't my needs.
My need is to stay within my lanes. Did I hear it correctly?
Yes.
My need is to stay within my lane.
Whatever you do
Are
with your
there
car.
any other needs while driving?
Whatever you
For
do.
sure, there is one need. Every now and then you change lane when needed. Okay? Not whenever you feel you like to change lane at any time.
I change when I change.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, for sure, your needs are different.
Exactly. My needs are different.
Your need is a mental therapist, Anas.
I love to drive fast. So my need is
Well,
a
the
fast car.
cheapest car can bring you a speeding ticket.
No, I need a Lamborghini.
$500 car can bring you a speeding ticket, wallah. You don't have to pay a lot.
You're right. But I need the performance, the acceleration, the type of engine, the tires, the looks, everything. This all takes into account of being a track car, of being a fast car, of being in a NASCAR.
Yeah, with your driving, you need to care for the engine because you will be sitting on top of the engine soon.
Exactly. So I need a fast car. So maybe based on your needs, you can get a decent car, but my needs, I love to drive fast, so I need a fast car. Would it be permissible for me to buy a Lamborghini? Because my needs are different than your needs.
This halakha is recorded carefully. Whenever you watch it 10 years from now, with your kids, not with your Lamborghini, okay? Whenever you have kids and then you think, should I buy a fancy car or should I save for my kids for college?
I'm a billionaire.
You will be billionaire?
Keep dreaming.
Allah al-Musta'an. I hope.
But even if you buy a Lamborghini, you would be wasting money, right? But when you sell it, you're going to get a lot of that money back. So it wouldn't be wasted.
No, I do not think so. People who buy Lamborghini, they buy brand new. Yalla, let's think. Yes, so what are you going to do with the Lamborghini?
What about your time?
طيب يا شباب يعني I hope we touched on something يا شباب Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it beneficial for you. Nowadays, while you are heading to Starbucks, Habiba, and you Muhammad?
Yeah.
طيب يلا let's conclude with Muhammad.
So you're saying that buying a, yeah. So buying a Lamborghini is wasting money, but some like Lamborghinis they rise in value, like when you sell it, so it appreciates, meaning you can make more money. Like some expensive cars, like you buy it for $1 million, and then like over time, like it gets more rare, like and then it appreciates and you get more money. So yeah.
With the way I saw you driving today at the parking lot of the park, you are going to be on track of being like Anas, okay? And this Lamborghini, it is not going to stay for a long time, you know, it is going to be totaled very soon and it's going to go to trash and you're going to lose your money.
No, but
it is a car that is moving on the street, it can get any damage, something can happen and you're going to be spending tons of money on insurance. Do not try to convince me that you are doing business by buying Lamborghini, okay? This argument, you may be able to convince your poor wife about this nonsense argument, but not me. To pay insurance for the Lamborghini, you need a job by itself to pay the insurance for a Lamborghini, because it can hit something. People know you buy Lamborghini not to take your kids to school. You buy Lamborghini to drive like Anas, which increases the likelihood that this car is going to go to trash and insurance will be paying. So just the premium of the insurance of a Lamborghini, it is another salary. So do not convince me it is for investment. Try to convince your poor wife, not me. Yes, Habiba.
Oh, honestly, I'm just like confused how here, like this is very interesting looking at the conversation. We started talking about how a cup of coffee is wasteful, we came talking about how Lamborghini is wasteful. Which brings us back to the point that the idea of being wasteful is different from one person to another. Again, you should advise people to not be wasteful, period. But clearly from this conversation, we have people arguing about whether buying a Lamborghini is wasteful or not, and then we started the conversation about how buying a cup of coffee every day is wasteful.
So Habiba, wallah, advice for you, okay? Whenever your husband gives you an advice, talk about this advice, okay? Do not put this advice on the side and let him stand in front of you and you start roasting him. This is what you have done. This is what you have done. Let's talk about this one.
You're not addressing the point though.
Okay, Allah musta'an. I tried my best. May Allah help him, inshallah. May Allah give him the patience, inshallah. Yeah, yes, Aqil. Is you ready? Okay. طيب يا شباب جزاكم الله خير. I hope no parents are waiting. Your parents are the ones who are going to be waiting in front of my house. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Someone decide. We'll take this discussion in the van, okay? Those are